Today is, let's see, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. September 1, 2021. How many feel like it's been 16 years since this experience, or a week, one or the other, 16 years anyway. So tonight we have some new classes coming that we're going to talk about, and they're very timely. So that's what I'm going to get into tonight. So conscious language, which is the core of mastery systems and it's like an operating system. So I'll talk about that. And then the role and the partnership of nutrition and consciousness, which yes, it's really, it's way more than, oh yes, you're sick, take this, or to be, no, it's way more than that. And also shifting self-sabotage. We didn't add this in the title, but into our highest choice. So just know that's what our three events coming up on. And can you just share the dates of those, Cynthia, so they know that?
Yes, these classes start next Wednesday. So there are 3 Wednesdays in a row. The first one is September 8th, and that's the conscious language one. The intro to nutrition and consciousness is September 15th. And then the third Wednesday night is the shifting self-sabotage into our highest choices. That's September 22nd. They all start at 8 p.m. at Eastern time at the same time. And there's a package deal that we'll talk about in a bit as well.
Perfect, thank you. I have help on logistics. It's so good for me. So how many of you have noticed, how many have been, for me, I'm just going to jump in. I've been doing this for 52 years, and I've been involved in health and whatever for 52 years. And since the situation on the planet, I'll put it that way, has happened, a lot of study has come my way from amazing people. And it's come everybody's way, not just mine. I'm not doing that, but all about what viruses are, that viruses are not alive. And how many get viruses are not alive? I mean, how many went, well, wait, but how, what? And well, it just depends. Some people will go, oh, I'm walking along, I'm doing great, asymptomatic, whatever. And other people, no. And so, I mean, if you knew, well, I'm going to do it tonight, but if you knew how, like, all right, like, I don't like fear, I don't like any of that stuff. I like to just inspire people, have people change, all that. And what I'm going to talk about tonight, and the role of these 3 things that we're going to be talking or doing, sharing coming up, is essential. And normally, I believe one of the reasons why I didn't shout from the rooftops, I did a lot of the rooftop thing, and we're cruising along and people, when they're ready, they jump in and all that. Well, now the whole planet's basically going, something is up. And so what I'm going to talk about tonight, whether you ever do a class with us or not, I'm asking you to really like vote victory, see perfection, demand truth and only truth come forward from me, from you, from everybody. That's really what this is all about. And please know this is not about at all fear. It's about understanding this. And I've called, by the way, I've called the language construct of Babel. And I do talk about scripture a lot, and I'm not talking about religion at all. I'm talking about a quantum physics book called the Bible, and it is the best quantum physics book I've ever found. So it's not any takeaway from your particular spiritual path or anything. No, I don't. And some people got it shoved down their throat and they go, no, I can't even listen to that, whatever. That's not about that either. This is about finding the truth. So there's a couple statements scripturally that I love, which is decree a thing and it shall be established unto you. So how many get, if we just really, really, really understood that statement, we could say, I am eternally and invincibly healthy at all times until I am ascended in the light of God and free forever, or something like that. How many know you could do that? And if you felt the meaning and if you meant it and you were faithful to the words you spoke, that'd be a fact. So just know that. Oh, you have been, there's the one that's really important. Well, you have been faithful over a few things, I'll make you ruler over many. So I'm going to get right now, all the stuff that's going on, there's a miracle inside of this thing. So that's that. And then I'm going to share one more thing. I wrote it down. A man or woman. It says a man, but it's not gender. There's no gender in scripture in the original text. There's no gender, there's no punctuation, which I think is fascinating. A man or woman who offendeth not in word, it says, the same as a perfect person and able to bridle the whole body. What? So how many get, wait a minute. If I don't offend in word, a man or woman, because I'm including us all, a man or woman who offendeth not in word, the same as a perfect person and able to bridle. Oh, body, it talks about when you put the bit in the horse's mouth to change the horse, when you put the rudder in the ship, anyway. So do you get, wait. So for me, back 1968 is when I woke up to what language was by studying the Hopi language in college. And it wasn't about Hopi, it was about, wow, the role of language. And I started to call the illusion language the Babel virus. So do you get a sense now of, oh, I mean, think about what's a virus. So the more the information came through all the different ways that it did, the virus is not alive. It does something with our RNA and or RNA DNA. Okay, got that. And then over all these years, you can program your DNA. There's all these different stories and reports and whatever, you can program your DNA. So then Emoto's work came over, Dr. Emoto, who would take toxic water and he would freeze it and look at the crystal that it would make, this microscopic little crystal. And he'd take the most toxic water he could find. And then he would take that water that's toxic. He would simply just say, water, I love you. I bless you. I thank you. He would freeze it, take another picture, and it would be purified and a beautiful mandala, beautiful, as pure as it could be by just saying, water, I love you. I bless you. I thank you. So what I'm suggesting here, besides conscious language, the language of self-sabotage, no, the language of success is really important. But right now I'm going, oh, it's time to shout from the rooftops. So how many like the idea of finding a way to speak from your heart what is? So how many of you want to stay healthy for the rest of your time? So now I just tested you. And I said, how many of you want to stay healthy? And those that raised your hand, you get it. You just go, oops, I recommit. It's real simple. The word want means to desire without having. Scripture says this, not religion. It says the Lord or law or I am that I am is my shepherd. I shall not want. So if I have my creator and I walk around, I want, I need, I can't, I should, that's using my I am's name in vain. How many get that? So how many have listened to the news and got influenced by it in the past? How many have done that? How many have just, sat up and were happy and started to sink lower and lower and, oh my gosh, what's going on? All right. So oops, I recommit. How many like the idea I recommit? Right now, say I recommit to my happy, healthy life. I mean, that's what it's all about. So conscious language is an operating system. Language is an operating system. So, and I'm going to give you the basic root of this. And remember, if I use scripture, I'm not using the dogmatic potential of it that may have happened to some people. I'm not talking about that at all. Decree a thing and it shall be established unto you. So supposedly all humanity came to this earth. And to come to this earth, they ate from the fruit of the tree of the knowledge or thinking of good and evil. This is a metaphor now. I'm not talking religion. Yeah. We ate from the fruit of the tree of the knowledge or thinking of good and evil, and immediately and instantly fell from grace or union and became embarrassed. How many have done that? Right, wrong, good, bad, hot, cold, you, me. How many have had shame, blame, guilt, right, wrong, good, bad? Anybody that I ever knew did, whether they exemplified it or not. So again, no judgment. I'm not making that wrong. I'm simply saying maybe that's what happened. So what I've discovered in everything we're doing right now in our mastery systems is developing and sharing, delivering systems so people can go, oh, instead of being more right, how many have been more right and not necessarily had more love? Those of us that have children, how many went at some point, I'm either going to have love or I'm going to be right? Anyone? I mean, like your kids leave something on the floor. How many just went, well, or for now, I'd rather love them than get all over them and make them wrong for that. So just know that's kind of what this could be. So let's stay with this thing. So now language defines where we are in consciousness. So if we ate from the fruit of the tree, everyone, let's just say we did that. If we ate from the fruit of the tree, again, metaphor, of the knowledge or thinking, got it? Thinking, stinking is what I like to call it, of good and evil. And the moment we go right, wrong, good, bad, hot, cold, you, me, we move out of love into duality. And how many have experienced duality? I mean, like, yeah, and of course, no, Bob, I'm completely, well, anyway, me too. So now, if this thing going on the planet right now is asking us, because all things have a purpose under heaven, and I'm suggesting everyone find this scriptural law, not a religious anything. All things work together for good for those that love God, and then say, I love God. Now you do it your way, whatever that means to you. I love nature. I love Mother Nature. I love Aunt Martha. I love whatever that is for you. But love is loving our creator, whatever name you give it. I mean, it's got to be your belief, is the one thing that coalesces every seeming thing going on the planet into a blessing for everyone. So what the first event of First Wednesday is all about is finding a way to engage the language of your heart instead of saying it right. And the result of it. So anyway, that's step one. And I'll give you a little bit more on it just because of the viral concept. So scripture says this, if we ate from the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, at one point in the story scripturally, it says we had better confuse their language, for there is not anything they cannot do. What? Who's we? I believe that's every one of our God selves. We had better confuse their language, for there is not anything they cannot do. Wow. So do you get a sense that everyone got a confused language? It's called Babel, means confusion. And how many have had isn't it a beautiful day? And what you're saying is not it a beautiful day? How many have ever said it is? Isn't it a beautiful day? Yes. What you're saying is yes, it's not a beautiful day. Wouldn't you like to go? Yeah, because I'm saying, would not you like to go? Do you get? It's a confused language. And the result of the confused language is ultimately death. I'm not sharing fear. How many of you have ever gone, well, you live for a while and then you die? There's other options. I am the resurrection and the life. I'm going to get that. Come on now. So do you get, if this viral thing, got it, went on the planet, God's got a plan. Divine intelligence got a plan. How many get that? How many hope that's true? How many go, well, I'll be having it even if it doesn't want to create it? Okay, so that's say number one, that's happened. So for me, many people, when they get into the idea of conscious language, it's like, well, that was wrong and I need to say it right. Want's wrong. No, none of it's right or wrong. No, it all just produces a result. If I say, I want your help, I may or may not get it. Even if you give it to me and I stay in want, I'm not going to receive it. That's the challenge. And that's unease. The word disease is a man-made word. So do you get this thing? The C19 thing is not a disease. It's simply an RNA, DNA encoded, even if it's man-made, and even if it's a sinister thing, it has no power compared to our creator. How many like that? How many get that God just over? So if that's true, for me, I'm suggesting way more than ever before, and I'm passionate about this stuff. I mean, I've been in it for a lot of years, 5+ decades. 5+ decades. And so what I can share with you is somebody might change one word and they change their entire countenance. From it feels to I feel. So that's a lot of what this is about. But I'm going to take you, I choose to give you this blessing, whether you do this class or not, or any classes. So the idea of this C19 thing, you get a sense that it's spiked protein and whatever it is, it has no power unless you give it or we give it power. So I'm going to like to do, you have no power, and it's not alive. It's not attacking anyone. It's simply finding who has a certain series of belief systems and operating in that context at a cellular or DNA level. How many like they do? Okay, so A man or woman who offendeth not in word, the same as a perfect person, enabled to bridle, raise the whole body. How many are going, oh, I can, I am, I will, I choose, I have, I love, a great joy. I can, I am, I will, I choose. I'll be having, I can, I am healthy, I'm sovereign, I rise above it. And then you become a son, you just start blessing everyone. I mean, Mother Teresa, remember, with her whole tribe, she would go into where the lepers were and they never got leprosy because they were blessing versus fearing. How many get the people that are engaged in life? They just go, oh yeah, I might have had, I don't know, I didn't have any taste for a while, couldn't smell, whatever, I'm fine now. So what I'm sharing with all of you is it's time. And so Zephaniah 3:9, I found this, oh gosh, I'm going to guess maybe 94, 95. I woke up in the middle of the night and I went, oh, Babel. What does Babel mean? I already knew, but I was like, for some reason, didn't know. And so I had to look it up in a exhaustive, Strong's exhaustive concordance, which the minute I picked it up, I got exhausted because it's an exhaustive concordance. Anyway, I thought that was pretty funny. It's like, could you name it like Strong's inspired concordance? All right. So anyway, so I'm going through about Babel. It means confusion. Yeah, I got that. And then I happened to see the word speech. So I looked it up in Zephaniah 3:9. I don't do the quotes in the sense of what, but that one I remember because I do. And the reason I don't do all the quote stuff is somebody memorized the entire Bible and they didn't have really spiritually a clue in my view. They just knew what the words were. So it's like, I'm not doing that. But this one, Zephaniah 3:9 says, I will return to you pure speech. And I knew, I cried for hours. I knew that was true, but I didn't have the promise of it. So it says, I will return to you pure speech. And one Bible that I got from my grandmother, Nana, from Sweden, but it was her Bible, and her translation in there said, I will return to you pure speech. It's the only one, the only translation that said it this way. It said, I will return to you pure speech, where when you call upon the name of the Lord, I am, in unison, aligned, unison, one son or one S-U-N-S-O-N, aligned. I will return to you pure speech, where when you call upon the name of the Lord, I am, in unison, it shall be done unto you. And I, for a couple of maybe two decades, maybe 20 years, I didn't catch the where when. And then one day I said, oh, everything has a purpose. I am that I am will return to you, perception of separation, pure speech. Where? Here. When? Now. To every one of you, that's right here and right now. How many can feel that in your body? How many have energy movement? Raise your hands if you feel something going on. And to me, truth bumps, I also call it ducky bumps, but truth bumps happen when something's going on. That's my little mind can't produce that result. So I am that I am, my great God self for me, will return to you. That's my perception of separation, pure speech. Where? Here. When? Now. Right here and right now. You call upon the name of I am in unison, and it shall be done unto you. So I'm inviting everyone here to vote your victory first. I am my own permanent victory of the light. That's what I do. And then let's vote each other's permanent victory in the light. Whether you're live on this, we have 49 people on currently. Whether we have, the people that are live on here now or anybody's going to watch it in recording. Let's vote victory. Let's imagine every single person from this second, from this nanosecond forward is by love, not by doing it right, by love, speaking from their heart, remembering to decree what they choose, being sovereign, invisible, invincible, and invulnerable to all human creation, where anything outside of us has absolutely no power. God is the only presence of power acting here. God is the only presence of power acting in me, through me, and around me at all times, now and forever, until I'm ascended in God's light and free forever, is an idea that may help. So what I'm sharing with you is this particular thing right now is timely. It's really, really timely. And how many have been with some people that might have had the challenge with this thing, and other people that just cruise right on through? How many get something was operating in them to have them cruise? How many go, I'll be cruising through, thank you. I'm cruising through, thank you very much. So what that means is whatever's out there, you just withdraw your attention from it and put your attention on love and blessing everyone, voting everyone's victory. If you'd like to know, I've got a whole decree training on this that we're just talking about bringing back up at the beginning of this thing. I created it. And one way not to pick anything up is to bless everyone. If somebody's got a cold or flu and you go, oh, and you contract a little bit, that's how you suck it into yourself. So cancel, clear. And even if you suck it in, you go, oh, I recommit. Oh, I bless them. I bless them 10,000 fold. I love everyone. You forgive yourself. I mean, how many are going to make a few mistakes? So I recommend you write out 500 get out of reaction free cards and give them to yourself. How many like it? How many like that? And that's called grace. It's simply walking in grace. How do you walk in grace? You do. You be aware of it and you walk in grace. And there's more to that. I mean, I've got a whole system of what grace is. Scripture says, you'll know my grace because it's without effort. How many go, oh, you mean I have to give up efforting? Anyone? How many are going, oh man, I don't want to have to give up efforting. I mean, I'm so good at it. I work so hard at working hard. How many like to do? You mean I get to trust? Well, it's up to you. How many have a little bit? Yeah, I think I'll be trusting. Anyone? Anyone? I like the idea. And how about, well, now that I trust, we're going to use imagination activation. And now that I'm confident, now that I am sovereign, and now that I am an energy form of my creator, because I love my creator and all things work together for good. For those that love God, I love God. I love my God. I love my God in me, through me, and around me. I love my God in you. Whatever you do, I'm going to get, oh, I can actually from this moment forward move up scale. Now, I will share this with you. The blueprint I'm going to share in these classes will be from our book, My Word Made Flesh. And how many have seen it? We've done some stuff online. That's before I would go, oh, I've got all this stuff to teach them before. I've already got it in the book. How many love this in the book? It's in the book. I mean, come on now. And I'll be using the book as a blueprint to show you how. So it's not like we're going to sell you the book. Yeah, get the book, whatever. But the point is, I'll show you the blueprint of what's available and how to first to speak only what you choose to have come into manifestation now and continuously. And if you make a mistake, you go to hell. Brittany says no. How many go? How many love? Oops, I recommit. Now, come on. How many like, oops, I recommit. Oops, come on, you backspace. How many got? Come on, how many like the idea? How many been on the computer going, oh, I made my little finger doesn't hit the right thing. By the way, how many have done the typing practice thing and they find your area of weakness and then they have you go like my little finger finding that puppy? It would go back and make me use my little finger. So I'm not going to do that. I'd just rather look. Got it? I mean, I can type 72 words per minute on a typewriter back, in the old days. So, but look, you guys, I know you figured out this computer program where my little fingers don't quite know. They're fish around over there. They hit the wrong, whatever. I'm going to get that. Come on now. So do you all get, all right, oops, backspace, recommit. I am already forgiven. Say it. I'm going to get that. We are all already forgiven. Everyone, we're the only ones that can hold ourselves down. And when we start to wake up the language of our heart, then you're not going to learn how to say it right, eating from the fruit of the tree of the thinking of good and evil, right, wrong, no. We begin to speak from our heart. And that's always with love. And so conscious language is an operating system, what I call a conscious human operating system. And it's there again, you can't really learn it. I'll tell you that right now. You can simply remember it. It's what built us. Pure speech, Zephaniah 3:9, is what built all this. And the word becomes flesh. That's the name of our book, My Word Made Flesh. So right now, how many have old thoughts in there? How many have a little like, well, how many, I can read you all out, by the way, so you might as well raise your hand if you have that. But I may have a little bit of doubt going on, just a little. I may have a little like one on a few from us. It's so cute. Some more like, wait, I can see myself there. You see my fingers? Like mini, yeah, Terry. Hello. All right. So it's okay to have doubt, because how many know if it's in there, it's going to come out? Yes, I'm going to get that. So say, yo, doubt. Well, I love you. No, you don't. Well, I love you, even if you say, oh, come on, I'm going to get. How many have gone downscale to the point where, oh my gosh, this C19 thing might get me? Well, so then you go, no, I walk by grace. I walk by faith, not by sight. I want to love. And again, this is where the next thing, nutrition and consciousness. So the way I learned it from my mentor, Dr. John Ray, who taught me about electronics and a bunch of other stuff. He said the mind is senior over the body, and then eventually the body becomes senior over the mind. There's like a rubber band. So if I go, oh, I'm moving upscale, I choose to make this fun and easy, I empower myself, the body may have enough memories in there going, no, not today. You told me 8,553 times that I can't. And now you're coming up with a one single I can, ain't going to happen. Nope. So how many have ever noticed that? How many have gone, oh, I can do. What was I talking about? I mean, I was really excited, and then, oh, I'm not quite sure. Okay. So this is the body-mind connection. And how many love the idea of being able to find how to work with nutrition and frequency and essential oils, etc., to be able to get right through the pattern. So for me, how many of you do essential oils? And my favorite and only is Young Living. Okay. So now here's what my mentor said. And I may even, I've got the book, our book loaded up. So anyone that hasn't seen it yet, when we're done here, I can just take you through real quickly and show it to you. And we're, I believe, going to press within hours versus days. I'll leave it at that. Very excited about this. It's a big deal. We put so much more in it. It's phenomenal what's happened. Well, let's put this in. Well, let's put that in. Let's put anyway. So now it's 9,000 pages boiled down to 284, something like that. I mean, literally, it's all the same amount of information, only it's like organized and compressed. And thank you very much. It's a one font. So you have to get a magnifying glass out. No, that's not true. That's not true. It's normal. All right. All right. So nutrition. So how many know how many have certain patterns that attract certain types of food? So how many have ever felt sad and used sugar as your joy? How many have comfort food? How many have ever, I like how quick the hands went up on that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Comfort food. Well, again, not wrong. What I've learned, like sugar, I'll do this like sugar, and I'm going to get into this in a way that's functional, using the book as a blueprint, just so you know. So it's a huge topic for me, and yet now I've got it organized so clear that somebody can get to it very quickly. So just know, whatever food you eat, bless it. Instead of go, oh, this is not good for me, I'm going to eat it. If you drink alcohol, if you smoke cigarettes, if you take whatever, bless it. It's the fastest way to get over anything is hold it. And whatever it is, illegal substance, you know, like in the spiritual sense of, you know, what are they called? Oh God, I can't, the ding dongs or something like that. In the, they're the types of things that were way back. I used to eat them as a kid and about 20 years old, and be in my lunchbox. What? No, what Twinkies is one. Yeah, but they also have a ding dong, and they have a, what is it? No, look, we all know the name. Yeah. So those, so I'm going to see you Twinkie because that was what I ate actually. It's just, you channeled me right in there. So can you imagine if you're going to eat a Twinkie, don't go, this is bad for me, and eat it. No. I want to get that. You bless it. If you smoke cigarettes, bless it. I want to get that. If you drink alcohol, don't. Oh, did I say that? Okay. But when do you get that right now? I'm not, no, well, that's wrong. And this is right. That's wrong. And this is right. Do you get, we got to move out of that. So nutrition and consciousness is all about, I'm going to understand when my body craves something, what's it looking for? So when my body craves sugar, it's looking for electrolytes or minerals. If I eat white sugar, there's no minerals in it. It's all bleached out. So how many are going, oh, wow. And if I eat a meal and all of a sudden now I'm going, I like something sweet, my meal did not have enough electrolytes in it, maybe enough amino acids in it. maybe not enough protein in it. So how many are starting to go, all right, I'm going to bless my food, number one. I forgive everything I've ever eaten. How many know you might still have 40 pounds somewhere in your colon? Yes. Come on. How many know that? How many know there might be a few extra pounds in there? How many have ever done a colon cleanse, didn't eat for 14 days and filled the toilet up every day? Come on now. I mean, anyone that's ever played the game of that going, holy crap, literally, like spiritual poop. That's one way to look at it. All right. So now I'm going to show you a whole realm. Well, I'm going to make it easy. That'll be the second way. And how many like the idea of first bless everything from here on? Yes or no? Bless everything. Yes. And again, food, I love you, I bless you. Go read Emoto. If you have not studied Emoto's work, here's what happened for me. The source books, good friends of mine were the sole importers of this book. Once they've done the classes with me, once they saw what was in the book, they sent me, I got the first, other than the 2 copies they got for themselves and the ones they sent me those 2 books for free. The beautiful, man, it's amazing books. And they said, Bob, this makes everything you're saying, it proves everything you're saying. How many love that? I mean, it was just so clear. So if you haven't, you can go online, you can see all this kind of stuff. Get a visual on the most toxic water he could find, Dr. Emoto. And water, I love you, I bless you, I thank you. And look at the difference. You can start that now. And how many know you have a little bit of H2O in your body? Yes or no? How many like right now go, all right, every bit of H2O in me, I love you, I bless you, I thank you. Come on now. You know, you start to turn all the points of light on in your body. That's what this is about. So let's take a look at all things have a purpose under heaven. I already got that. So this C19 thing comes along to get us back into our spiritual practice, into our faithful commitment to love. Yes or no? I'm going to get that. And to forgive everything else. I'm going to get it. I forgive everything up until this point, and I forgive everything in the future, and I love everything. Not I do it right. No, I love everything. And so instead of cheating when you eat, I treat myself, I bless it, and I eat it. I mean, I'll give you an example of this. So this has happened a number of times. I'm thinking of one in particular. 2 young married couple, I'm going to say 20-some years old, had their grandfather who was 94, something like that. And they said, we need to bring our grandfather in to see you. I said, okay, what's going on? Well, I don't remember all this, but this is like the deal. He smokes like 3 packs of cigarettes a day. He has 2 pieces of pie and 5 cups of coffee. And that's his life. And I've sat there going, you don't need him to come in here. You need to sit down and take a class from him. How many get that? Because if he's 94 and still trucking, then that boy's got something working for him, no matter if what he's eating or not, because we are not what we eat. We are what, like our thought, word, and feeling. As we think in our heart, so are we. And they were like, oh, yes. They were entering the right, wrong piece. Got it? I'm like, can I go touch him? Can I just rub elbows with him? Come on now. Come on, 3 packs of cigarettes, 2 pieces of pie, 5 cups of coffee. Dude, anyone? I mean, how many get that? And there are people out there that are not running around going, this is going to kill me and this is not good for me. And ow, bless it. How many get that? How many have read something and the minute, oh, I've been eating pizza. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, bless it. Come on now. How many get that? Whatever you eat, bless it. Whatever you eat and bless. Now, the next one, which is about upgrading self-sabotage. So how many have had repeating patterns of something less than your height? Look how quick the hands go up. It's so good. How many have repeat? I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth. And so, all right. By the way, I'm loving the Zoom thing just because I get to see this many people and watch what you do, especially in body language. All y'all have told me about 500 chapters of who you are and what you're about, just so you know. And many people, they sit in the dark a little bit, like, maybe you can't see me. Oh, but you still will be moving and I can tell what's going on. It's all good. And it's always a blessing. It's never a bad thing. It's always good. So just know that. And it's true. I'm not kidding. Okay. So now once we get conscious language and once we find a way to feed our strength and restore our strength, which I'm going to show you a system to do that. We have a book that is really good with it because it's not about, well, you got this wrong. Oh, no, you need to, yeah, it's in there. You know, enzymes rule over everything else. Minerals, electrolytes, coenzymes they're the deal. And yet, what I'm going to share with you is the thing about essential oils. My mentor taught me, and if you stay on, I'll show you some of that. I can get to it pretty quick, I believe. Marion Jager back in 1976 taught me that number 22 in my list of what I'm sharing that she taught me is so cool is the essential oil. She said back in 76, she looked like a female Merlin, about 6'2", and a long nose, long fingers, about 80 years old. I'm 72 now, so she was really old. And now I'm going, well, she wasn't that old. Anyway, and she had a voice of, well, or, you know, this, she could have been a much better Merlin than any Merlin I've ever seen. Gandalf, all of them. She was like better than all that. Anyway, she taught me this one thing, number 22, and there's a whole bunch more than that. She said that the essential oil anesthetizes the intellect. Now, the reason I'm bringing this to your attention, we now know in the cranial nerve, first cranial nerve, the olfactory, the sense of smell, has no filter. So what she found was true is true neurologically. That how many know that when you smell an oil and you're doing a decree, which is what we put together with is conscious language decrees, that oil, and Warren shared this the other night beautifully. It's like, I'm going to be at Warren right now. And a little bit of an Australia accent. And will you share that, Warren? Just, I'd rather have you do it since you're here. Just.
Yes, sure. Yeah, it's like you were talking earlier about water. So I'll just kind of go back just a step. Like water can be influenced by thoughts and beliefs. But for me, using the decrees and the oil, it's almost like nothing can penetrate, or I believe, once you add a decree to the essential oil, it's almost like nothing can alter that decree. But oil and water don't mix. So for me, the essential oil just picks up the decree. And after the work that you've seen within yourself of shining light on whatever belief in order to transform that, for me, I believe the oil is almost, I mean, you said it as well, it trucks along. But it kind of picks up that decree and it takes it towards your own light, your own victory. You're obviously coming to you, or you're giving your presence forward in order to see what's going on a belief or a structural level. And I just believe the oil just kind of honors your soul, honors your time, and honors what you're willing to kind of look at in order to transform, and almost is the gift itself that just takes that decree along. That's what I believe. I mean, I've listened to you for a little while. I haven't been on here as long as others, but that was my experience after listening to you and using some caraway seed oil in relationship to my father. And I can share that even the start of that conversation began about being about committing to my partner. And by drilling down, I discovered it was I didn't feel like a man within myself. I didn't have a love for my father. So there was a sense of just forgiving him and then forgiving myself. And then the oil itself was the gift itself that just took that decree along and took it to the light, where there's still emotion there, but there's more of a sense of love within that. And I guess it's one thing that I've done some like mankind projects and men talking about their stuff, but I believe the oils within this is almost like the gift that is coming back to men. And with what you're saying, with what's happening on the planet, it's
and by the way, I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second. You're making so much noise while you're talking. So is your microphone flopping around or what?
Could be. Is that like?
Yeah, it's really loud. So if you can hold it still, that would be awesome.
Okay. I'm just speaking to the laptop. Sorry. It's my excitable energy.
Yeah. And anyway, so thank you, my friend. And I love your perception. And what I share in the material is it's actually what he's saying is not even kind and almost whatever. No, The essential oil is the marriage of earth and heaven, and it's sunlight through photosynthesis into the blood of the plant. So it has spirit in it in a very specific personality or frequency. So what we've done is put together an amazing, Marcel von Harding and I took Gary Young's legacy really, and all this, the purpose of every one of these, and we took it, instead of talking about it, what it, compliance, not a really good idea, what it anti this, no, we said it's pro something. And so we put this together in a way, only how many love that you don't have to go to battle against your self-sabotage? How many have, well, it's going to be really hard. How many have done that? How many, well, it's going to, no, it's not going to be hard unless you say it's going to be hard. And I recommend everybody, look, if I have grace is without effort. And then if that's possible, God says in scripture, I'm going to say it for me, is, Bob, what? You'll know my grace. Okay, because it's without effort. I'm going, without effort. What does without effort mean? How many have ever, I mean, literally, it's I was going to say this, but I'm not going to say e-farting. But it's like I call effort e-farting just so I have a different frame for it. So I'm glad I didn't say e-farting, because I didn't need to say e-farting. But anyway, so whatever I'm not going to do, I'm going to do. That's just the deal. So do you get a sense? All right. So I use the oil. And what I love about the decrees, they're already clean. In other words, you don't have to learn. You just let yourself feel the meaning in each word deeply enough. And we can be through the veil, not getting rid of the old pattern. We simply take all the energy of the old pattern and it reshapes itself into our new state. Now, our greatest weakness, scripture, our greatest weakness shall be our greatest strength. Scripture also says, let the weak man say, I am strong. That is, to me, the totality of this, the reversal statement. That's exactly, I mean, think about that. Let the weak man obviously admit their weakness and then say, I am strong. Not, you have to go join Gold's Gym, even though you may. I mean, how many like that the word becomes flesh? Decree a thing and it shall be established unto you. By your words you shall be justified, and by your words you shall be condemned. A man, a woman who offendeth not in word, this is the big one, the same as a perfect person and able to bridle the whole body. To me, what's really important now is I believe the whole planet is faced with this upgrade of pure speech. And it's not something we really learn. It's something we remember, or we recognize, remember, cognition. So how many like they do, oh, pure speech is in my heart. Yes. And so we move from, yes, go ahead, Warren. Oh, you're just agreeing. I got it. Cool, man. Just all right. I'm still learning how when I ask a question, hands go up. Oh, you got a question? Okay. So it's still, that's one of my challenges with a Zoom is I just did this with Brittany the other day. How many people? Oh, Brittany, would you like to? But it was an amazing upgrade we had the other day. It was awesome. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Beautiful upgrade. All right. So we have coming up conscious language, tied in upgrade. Then we have nutrition and consciousness. So somebody can go, all right, we're going to upgrade this. And now I'm going to work with the life force in our foods and oils and substances. I mean, I can work, I've done this for 50 years. Somebody can be at home and they got something up and I go, do you have any supplements, any herbs, because there's an H in it, because whatever, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. And they might go, no, do you have any spices? Well, yeah, I got spices. I can work with those. I mean, I can do anything with anything. Even water. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to do something with water. So I'm going to give you some of the basics of that, but also show you we've got it built before it would take 3 months solid of training you. And it's already in a book now. So you can just look it up. And body language, same. So the body language piece is way in there and I'm so helpful. And so then after that, it's like self-sabotage is any limitation that does not fulfill us is self-sabotage. And I believe self-sabotage happened when we came to Earth and we had a confused language. And so to me, it's like, my contemplation on this is, all right, every human being, you, me, all of us are eternal beings of light. And when we came to earth, everybody agreed that we would forget that we are our creator. And we better confuse their language, for there is not anything they cannot do. And we went, well, and we got to confuse. I can't, I want, I need, in it. Couldn't you, shouldn't you, can't you, didn't you, won't you? I'm going to get it. I want you to want me. We'll sing songs. I want you to want me. I need you so badly, going out of my head over you. You can't get what satisfaction. How many have issues of satisfaction? Thanks, Mick Jagger. Okay, so now, do you understand that we're at the point right now where this thing went on the planet to have everybody go die? No. A man or woman who offendeth not in word. The same as a perfect person and able to bridle the whole body. And then what I'm going to show you is the self-sabotage, the contraction of reaction. Anything less than love is a reaction. Love is the only action. It leaves a pathway for what we're here for. Our greatest weakness shall be our greatest strength. How many are excited to go, what's my weakness? What is my self-sabotage in this setup? Oh my gosh, I've got 500 self-sabotage. I don't even want to read anything about that anymore, because I'm going to find I can't, I want, and I shouldn't, I didn't, I don't, and you shouldn't, and don't ever, won't you sometime do it? That was a song by somebody. Okay, so now do you get a sense of, wow, I can find my self-sabotage pattern and not go, you prick. No, I can just find everything about it, and then find how it came in, and then just go, oh, once I get a miracle, like lack. How many of you ever had lack? So a lack of anything. How many get it? I mean, how many have? All right. So no judgment. Can you have lack if you are one with your creator? How many? No. So how many go, no, that's true. No, I love God with all my heart. Do you have lack? Oh, yes. And then you don't love God with all your heart. You love God. You think you love. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong. I like Brittany was just going, oh, and many of you are working it as I'm talking right now. How many get that? So, and again, you can learn a lot about what all that is. Anyway, and so I vote victory. I'd rather not go, oh, they've got something up. Because if I see you, scripture says, if you see a twig in your brother's eye, take the log or beam out of your own. So it's like, I'd rather see you all perfect. Yes. And how many go, oh, with all you're getting, get understanding. And how many go, all right, if I've had lack of anything, I've agreed to that, or I've agreed to it through association, or through my lineage, or through socialization, or through whatever. And it's my job, my greatest weakness shall be my greatest strength. I'm here to resurrect and be an igniter of opulence everywhere I go by grace. How many like that idea? Come on, and how quickly do we resurrect our planet? In the twinkling of an eye, like a thief in the night. So one thing I've learned is, everyone, just when you're done with this call tonight, go look in the mirror and stare at yourself with love until your eyes start twinkling. And yes, you'll feel a bit weird potentially, whatever you have to do. But how many like the idea of, when I see God seeing me, I'm home run. Oh, very good for me. Everyone like it? Come on. When you look in the mirror, only let God see you. Your God through your eyeballs, only seeing you. Yes? How many like it? And when you cross your eyes and they become, when they touch, when the eye be single, the body is full of light. Maybe not quite like that. All right. So now here's the deal. So now these three things coming up are all about conscious language operating system. And then consciousness and nutrition, how they're one and the same, and how to go, oh, something's up, how to read it. I'll make that, I'm simplifying it for functionality. Got it? And normally I would have to do a whole bunch more training. And now it's all easily referenced in a book in the highest form in a company that can handle getting it. How many get that? I mean, they have worldwide, millions of people. Marcel von Harding has approximately 2 million people in her active distributors or partners or brand partners, whatever they're called now, whatever, in her own organization. And she has been with Gary. She brought an understanding with my translation of what the oil does by consciousness versus by physiological challenge. That's what I bring to the table. And then the decrees are rock and roll. And every one of the decrees, every single one of the decrees in the entire book, which there's a lot of them, have worked for everyone I've worked with. If somebody play the game, you just stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. And all of a sudden they go through a metamorphosis. The word becomes flesh. And the way to do it is feel the meaning in each word deeply enough. So that's what we're going to be doing. So this, I'm going to share with Cynthia, or if you'll share with us, Cynthia, about anything. And then if anyone, would anyone like to see the book? I can take you through it pretty quickly. It's 2 up. So it goes faster than 1 up. Pretty good, the way I got that figured out. 2 pages up is faster. It's about twice as fast. I got that figured out.
Are you sure? Okay, so the classes, they are made as a bundle to go together. One builds on the next one. Class number 2 builds on class number 1. Class number 3 builds on class number 2 and class number 1. And they're in this order for a particular reason. It starts with our languaging. And the introduction to conscious language is first. And that one, like I said before, is our first one on Wednesday night, 1 week from tonight, September 8th. Then building on that class is nutrition. How does nutrition, what role does it play? That type of stuff, just like Bob suggested, goes with for the next Wednesday night, September 15th. The third class is September 22nd, and this is where we really move our self-sabotage into our highest choices. And it's all about a commitment. Commitment's a really big deal, and I know Bob will touch on commitment as well. And so the 3 classes, you can choose one. If you just like one, awesome. You can choose one, and the price for one single class is $222. You're going to get an email about this tomorrow. It's already written, and it's going to drop in your email box tomorrow. So one class is $222. An early bird price, so register now. Everybody's all about savings, yes. So early bird price is $144 for each single price. If you choose all 3 together, we have a bundle savings for you as well. It brings the price to $99. So now you're saving over $369 on these classes, and you can get each one for $99. So your package price is $297. So when you get to the page to enroll, register for a class, you can pick one, you can pick early bird, or you can pick your bundle price, which is your biggest savings, because we feel so strongly that they go together that we offer the savings to you to get all the way through all 3 steps. Yes, questions?
Thank you very much. And I was agreeing, but also raising my hand. How many hours each session? I don't even know, y'all. That's what I'm asking. 2?
We are 2 hours. Yes, 2 hours a session. So 6 hours of instruction for $297, which is a wonderful deal. You'll get to see inside the book. Even if you've already purchased the book, when it goes to print in the next few hours, we have a completed version that you'll get to get a sneak peek preview of what's in there and what pages is on and different things like that. Some new stuff that we've added in the past 60 days, Bob, I say 60 days, we have added tremendous value, not a lot of extra pages, but tremendous value to the book with some charts that we've come up, some graphics that we've come up with, just fantastic things that you will really enjoy. I am also as excited as you are to get my hands on this book. So I wait for it patiently, just like the rest of you.
I just asked this of our team, maybe it was today or yesterday, I choose to know. We do our office meeting, team meeting. And I said, well, how much, because I know what we've been putting in. I mean, Cynthia might go from from one day or over the weekend and you go in the book and go, wow, anyway, so that's what's been going on. So I asked the team, like, what % do you feel we've added in 60 days? And what was your answer?
10,000 fold.
Yeah.
Huge.
And I'm like, well, what? I'm talking about saying, no, she's not value, because I mean, when you see what we've added to this thing, like, what do oils do? You know, they clear it's amazing. And it's a spiritually sponsored thing. It's not like a bunch of, I'm clear that anything's in there that's true came from God. How many are at the point right now where anything that's awesome comes from you, through you, from your God self, and anything that sucks is your personality? Anyone? How many know, well, that's my personality, and thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. And so anyway.
And the decrees in the book are so powerful. I proofread the book 20 times, looking for little things and things like that. And just going through the decree list, just reading it, just to proofread it. I'm not looking for oils. I'm not looking for anything like that. Really not even in the upgrade mindset, and reading decree after decree after decree. I had to just take a break and say, okay, I have to go back into my head and just read these decrees and stop feeling the meaning, because I'm a whole new person after 6 decrees, and I've got to go breathe and drink water and do things so I can come back and finish what I'm doing. The decrees are awesome. Just reading what the oils do, reading through the charts, just proofreading, seriously, proofreading the book. I upgraded over and over and over. The book upgraded too, and so did I.
Yeah. And the oils, I've been working with oils since 76, actually 1968. I worked at the A.M. Todd Company in Kalamazoo, Michigan, which is the largest handler of peppermint spearmint in the world back then. And so I was around tens of thousands of 55-gallon drums of essential oils from the mentha farms around in that region. And I mean, that many, literally, how do I know that? Because one of my jobs was at inventory time, we would move out a couple thousand barrels of oil to somewhere else before they did inventory, and then bring them back. Well, I'm not sure that was legal, but anyway, that was my job. And anyway, so I've been involved in oils a long time. And, I thought I use oils. Anybody that's ever seen how many oils I got, you'd be, yeah, okay. And Young Living is all I use because of my experience way back with what happened with Young Living. And when I first had my back to Eden in 76, in 76, I carried all the essential oils, and I found some were not clean. And in fact, half of them were not clean. I didn't know anything about it. I just knew when I got the oil, I paid top dollar for what was considered organic and pure back then, and I could taste the oil. I knew something wasn't right. So I just got out of that, and then I got back into it once Helena, my beloved, when she was on the planet, was in Young Living, and I was like, whatever, yeah, I've been there, done that. And it's like, I'll tell you, I had a wasp sting me in my ear, or in my nose, excuse me, and hit a nerve. So I ran inside going, oh, and like she going, just a second, let me look through the book. And it's jokingly, but I felt she was going way slow because I thought I was dying. She wasn't. But anyway, she puts lavender all over her finger and shoves it up my nose for me. I mean, come on, that's what love's about. She shoves it up there. Instantly, the pain is gone. But now my eustachian tubes start filling up because I'm going into anaphylactic shock. So he goes, oh, just a second. I'm going, you can't see me, but she's turning the pages of in the book she's going through and finding, oh, time. And so she puts time on her thumb and puts it up both my eustachian tubes. I'm clear. And I went, oh, maybe I ought to check out the oil. That's a lot better than anything anyway, I thought I just saw they share that. So long story short. So anyway, what I'd like you to know is we have been talking about this. I am now the oil. If I can keep smelling it, it's still working, carrying me up. How many love that? And again, if it's a blend, and Gary Young, thank you for what you put together in blends. And the naming of them is impeccable. I mean, just all I can say is thank you. That's cry and say thank you. Oh, and the blend, like highest potential, that's my favorite one to talk about right now, even though there's all, the Divine Destiny Collection and all these things. So the highest potential was the first one. we were at Highest Potential Academy, by the way, one of the first ones, and we were using high, I put it on, and I smell it, and a few minutes later, go back to smell it again, and it's changed. In other words, the blend is there now. Oh, there's another oil leading. And then I go back and smell again, another oil, and third smell about 3 smells in, maybe 10 minutes in. Jasmine is running. And so now I realize what the oils are doing is once I get done with one raise, the blend goes on to the next raise, then the next oil. Oh my gosh. And if we can stay in the game with the decrees of what's specific for those particular oils or blend, we can walk new at this point. We can be made new. We walk new. So I'm simply sharing with everyone, there's a whole new world here, which is profound. And all of us, yes, Cynthia, do you agree with what I'm saying for your experience?
Yes. Yes.
One of the last oils to go in the book was caraway seed vitality. And so, Vaughn we're going through, and so I'm designing, and we're coming up my version of putting in by then we were both doing it because we understood how to do it. So I did this and this and this. And the list is like that long of what caraway does on the issue, the question, and it's about this long in the decrees. Caraway, it's like $9. Anyone? Who would guess? Thank you. And anyway, that's the one that Warren was talking about, that, hello. And how long has caraway been on the planet to bless us? A long time. Well, now I know. Now we've got literally all these things for us, and we've got a way to translate body language. We can hear and build something in conscious language. By your words you shall be justified, and by your words you shall be condemned. How many get that? So that means whatever you say, you get. And how many love the idea of offendeth not in word, and able to bridle and raise the whole body? Yes. Into a frequency of sovereignty and grace, where we can literally shine like the noonday sun. Instead of being a magnet for poop, we become a glorious being of light, igniting light everywhere we go. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Any comments or questions? Mic yourself and wave. That's the way we can do it.
Dorian asked if the classes are live coming up. Yes, our conscious series is
Everyone
live
that's
coming
on
up.
it will be alive. Yes.
Yes, everyone will be alive.
We've no longer, yes, it'll be live. And some people will do it recorded, so it's recorded live. Anyone else? Comment, question? You can type it, whatever.
Go ahead,
Hi.
Ina.
Hi. I just have a comment to make. That I've just been enjoying every single word you've said today. This morning has been soothing my heart, and I feel the ripple effects going everywhere. And just to say how inspired I am about this simple but yet so nutrition filled little series that you're putting on, and for just reflecting on my own experiences, studying conscious language, remembering conscious language, and all of the box sets are so helpful. And still, just even your intro talk, so anything live with you, it's so applicable to this moment in our collective consciousness that I'm in touch with in me. So I just so value these live moments with you, Bob. Thank you so much for you.
Awesome. We are welcome, because there's only we of us here. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? I love it. And me too. I'm doing this for me. I'm not like going, no, this is, if you knew how much energy comes through me on, let's all wake up, not right or wrong. Let's just wake up and rise above. And do you get the illusion is just flopping around. It's like any animal that's in a death spiral. It flops around. It might attack. That everything going on in government right now is the death of that particular duality government. And only love, not right, wrong, good, bad, hot, cold, across the planet, no mask, how many get that, is going to do this thing. Only love is going to do this thing. I'm going to get it. And again, we don't have to do anything. I'm going to get, we're not human doings, we be. I'm gonna get it. I be love. Love I am love. Anyone else? Comments? Questions? All right, join us. Come play. Who would like to see the book? I'm gonna, if you stay on, I'm assuming that you'd like to see the book, so I'll go do that now. I may not be able to see everyone because it's, we'll see. So anyway, this is my word made flesh. And we'll change this. Good. I'm going to have to move this over just a bit. Well, let's make you a little bit smaller. I would rather, forgive me, I got to just see if I can get it big enough and still see all of you. All right, I'm gonna call this good. Anyway, Mary Young, by the way. Oh, there we are. I'm going to do it this way. All right. So Mary Young does the foreword. What a genius. Marcel von Hoing is my co-author, especially about the essential oils, which, what an education for me. And then this is some of the book. We use emojis so you can figure out this what we call the 7 steps. Engage your upgrade and touch it with love. This is bigger than it seems. It's like the deal. And then put it into words of sacred body language translation, get specific with specificity factors, reverse the curse and or upgrade with conscious language decrees, and then shift into already having with imagination activation. Every one of these steps by themselves will work. You put them together. Oh yeah. And then 6, change your frequency with conscious nutrition and faith builders, Young Living Seed to Seal Premium Essential Oils. And then 7, outcome map. Now that I've got it, you draw it out what your life is like. And we have a number of what I call universal laws and rules for successful transformation. So then what we did, and thank you, Maggie, is the book itself could be a bit like, whoa, because of the amount of law. So Maggie goes, well, what I said was, let's make it pop. I think something like that. Let's make it vivid. So we went, well, they went, some color is good. I'm going, what do you mean some color? Come on now. So eventually you'll see that there's a bit more than some color in here. And so all the emojis, that was Jade. And then all the other stuff was Maggie, who put all this stuff together. So you'll begin to see that, oh, it went from a linear book to a co-creative, right brain, fully experienced book. And so it becomes very fun and extraordinarily deep. That's a worksheet that you can download besides being in the book.
And for those of you, this is going to be a spiral. This is an 8x11 size book with a spiral binding.
So you can open it instead of going, as you know, wrestling match. So there's in everything about like, here's the body anatomy. Here's a signal or issue, way to ask yourself the question, what's going on? And then here's the decrees, and then here's the suggested oils. And so you begin to see that we've got that on all these different areas. You can kind of take a look, and they're real. I mean, I'll just let you know, over my 52 years, I was able to just ask a person a question. Yeah, I got that going on. And then, okay, and then I let them know not only a decree, but our greatest weakness, once we find that it's asking us to change something, man, we move up scale so fast. And not just improve, the whole idea is to be made new, walk new. So the whole book is about that and is built in. Fingernails are in there because they're a big deal. That's and all the teeth are in there, by the way. How many, like being able to find if you got something going on with a tooth, you can figure out, ask yourself a couple of questions and find your strength returning. Very important. The oils, it'll help.
And the teeth are numbered, and there's a chart at the end of the book that helps you know which number tooth you're looking at. That's always helpful.
Yep. And even if you don't have the tooth, you have the meridian for the tooth. So it's very helpful.
Same
So
with the
again,
body parts. If you're missing a body part as well, you still have the DNA of your body part.
and I'm going to share this way back. I was 20-some years old. A kid was reported in the whatever news. I don't remember where it was. Somewhere, I believe, in medical journal or something. And this boy lost his thumb, and so he got a bandage up, and he went back to the doctor. And I think 2 weeks, something like that. I don't know. And he grew his thumb back. And the doctor was flipped out. And the young kid, when he was afraid the doctor was angry with him. And the doctor was, how'd you do that? And he goes, well, nobody told me I couldn't, because he had, lizards and stuff that grow, the tail would always grow back. And he knew I'm so glad nobody told him that he couldn't grow his. Anyway, we've had people, we do this thing called body electronics. We've had people grow their tonsils back overnight. We've had women 65 and older doing body electronics who get pregnant. So I'm letting everyone know, even if you've been through the pause for men, menopause, pause for men, menopause, pause for men, it might be a good idea to realize that once you regenerate your body, you may become viable again. So I've had so many people kind of go, honey, what? Anyway, so just be aware. It's always good to know. And this is the gut. I went into deeper on this. Vaughn wrote this, and then I went much deeper again into the gut and how it works, and questions and understanding. These are all like the issues of the body, the signals or symptoms. And again, the center is the question you ask to find out why it's there, and then the decrees. This is really helpful, kids. It gets you right to it quickly. And the oils are suggested in there. And that's really home run too. All right, so path of reversal. And these are the scale of emotions. There's so much in here about feelings. So much helpful, useful stuff. And very colorful. How many know? Oh yeah, what do you think? A little subtle colors. That's what we like using. This is something Gary Young used, and we put it in our system. So if there's a standing wave, I'm gonna use my words. Gary would say, start with valor and then go to harmony and then sacred frankincense, and you would use the oil. We use the oil with the decrees, which home run, big time. And this is another one where these are the emotional challenges. So we use the abuse. Go ahead, Cynthia.
The chart you just finished, the blue chart that you just finished, is a beautiful way to do meditation as well. If you have these 14 oils and just sit with them, this one is not just like a slap on the oil and say the decrees and go. It's like really sit with the oil and smell the oil in saying the decrees, feeling the meanings in the words, and really waiting until it's time to move to the next one. So it's a 15-step process.
Well, hold on. And the way I'm going to share is, as long as you can keep smelling the oil, it's still working and carrying you. I mean, love to know that. So, and I recommend you don't slap any oils on. I mean, yeah, if you have to, you'd have to. But how many love? I mean, these days I put oils on, I'm going, oh yeah. And I stay with them because they're doing something. So thank you, Cynthia.
Yes, and that's what step 15 says. Take your time and select the oil and go through the process. That is one of my biggest takeaways since I've been, working and reading this stuff with the book of guests for the past year, is really slowing down with my oils and sitting with them. I have lots of takeaways, and that's one of them.
You're not supposed to take anything away. Just kidding. All right.
Yes.
So then abuse, and we put the blessing. So abuse turns into honor, agitation, peaceful security. And then here's some of the highest first oils to use. And then here's the decrees. So this is Gary's abuse, the word of the issue. We added the upgrade, so you know what it turns into, and then the decrees, and they're really helpful. And feelings, the freedom process, that's, you just have to stick with it. And codependence and the co-empowerment, that when we fell from grace is when codependence happened. So as a return, we go from codependence into co-empowerment. So there's certain things that go on with codependence, like people pleasing. When we upgrade them, we go to self-satisfaction or difficulty making choices. That upgrades into heart-centered choice ease. Here's the oils. And then here's your decrees. There's a lot here on that. And then this is the number, I'll go to this next one, number 22. The essential oils are anesthetizers to the intellect, where doubt can live, which can be a barrier to belief. There's so much in here about vortices and all the other stuff. But anyway, this, and then what with the highlights, this is so cute. If I could make this bigger, I would. And the one I'm going to laugh about is, I'll read this to you. It goes, thought forms have, this is from this list, a visual of the keys in it, right? So this is, thought forms have short-circuited our best efforts. And so here's the person climbing up and looking in, going, what's going on in there? So when I saw that, I started laughing so hard, I almost started crying. So I texted Maggie to call me so I could let her know I love this. While I'm waiting for her to call me back, I just happened to look at this guy. And so thought forms attach, and this, which is true, at different parts of the body. So there's a thought form touching the leg. And so here I'm laughing, double, triple laughing. By the time I could barely say anything. I'm going, I'm laughing about this. And now how many have a thought form, frequency specific, touching you in a part of your body, going, no, you must upgrade, that you must. And that's what the body is telling us. So anyway, I thought the whole thing has got a lot of that stuff in it. Here's Young Living oils, Young Living essential oils, the oil, the issue, the decrees. These are the singles. There's so much in here. Ah, man. And then this is a way that you can hook up with us or whoever. And we're really about, if you share this with somebody, we're asking them to go back with you. We're not here to enroll everyone. We're here, if somebody chooses to be with us, great. And I'd rather have them go to the person that brought them to this. And then here's the blends. And by the way, this is the Divine Destiny Collection. Just a little bit of information. Carrie, anyway, I thought I'd share that. These are all the blends. It seems so much shorter, doesn't it? When the 2-page up.
Half as long.
What's that?
Yes, half as long.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. I like that idea. And then these are the oil infused supplements. And then one in particular, these are the collections. This is the Raindrop Technique Oil Collection. We put this, the order that they are, Gary talks about. And then here's the decrees for your person to add to their session. And man, oh man, how many love the idea, if you've done Raindrop, knowing, and then you're the person helping you, the practitioner, may actually be, giving you the cadence so your face is down in the hole. So, and yet, if you can imagine agreeing with the frequency of the oil, this just makes the difference. And then these are the grouping: assimilation, digestion, elimination, the oils and supplements, the blood and life force, that grouping, bone, muscle, structure and support, that grouping, brain, emotions, feelings, endocrine and nerve upgrades. Obviously it's small. And then the supplements for that, and hair, nails, and skin, and also the immune system upgrades, and then the lungs and respiratory. And then if something's in bold, that's like, if you're going to, many people, they might not have everything, but they might have Douglas fir, or they might have hyssop, or they might have whatever. Use it. That's the one great for that particular lung and respiratory upgrade. But remember, we're not using it to get over, we're using it with the decrees. These are actually for partnering with the decrees. I'll go back up and see what it says that. The following are Young Living essential oils to enhance your experience in each specific area. The bolded, anyway, decree foundation enhancer. So we're not using something to heal what's wrong. We're here to restore. And that's what this is all about. And then this is one thing that I added, because I found this is true, that oils clear, they raise, they direct, they carry, they harmonize, they ease by reducing friction of the parts, they restore, purify, connect, increase life force, etc. And then clear into what? Raise into what exactly? Direct into what? So this helps anybody go, oh, if I'm using that oil and it's carrying, what's it carrying me into? So it's getting us to be the outcome, seeing and being the end from the beginning. This is all about commitment, because it's going to have, you're going to have your full commitment to make this work. So just know that. And then this is all about how you know if a commitment is real. The role of imagination activation and how to do this imagination thing. It's really important to get it. So we put it all in there basically, including how to do outcome mapping. It's more about how you can read your own outcome map and go, oh, and how to fix it. It's really fun because your subconscious will tell you. And many people, well, how will I know what I feel? So I've given you 2 or 3 words to help you find feeling words. You can just read that list over going, I'll be having that one and this one and that. And then your outcome map, you put these together. So I thought I'd share that. And then money, wealth and health are the same exact thing. So a way to figure out about your, let's say, self-sabotage, about wealth, opulence, or health, how they work together with each other. And then the role of nutrition, somewhat of what we're going to be doing, but it's way more bigger than that. And then these are my Sacred Body Language book has been remade into this with definitely upgraded charts and additions. And these are fun. I mean, these are like really real and fun. There's the teeth. So you can go, which tooth is it? Okay. And then these are hand and face gestures. So you can take a look going, what does this mean? What does that mean? What is it? So we don't have to get 500 emails a day on what does this mean? What, I mean, seriously, we get like, if you see someone speaking, let's say from the political arena, please do not ask me, what did he mean? Because I only do sacred body language translation with the person live when I'm voting their victory, not evaluating if somebody's alive or not. Remember, being alive is important. We vote Biden's victory because I choose to know. I mean, how many get vote his victory? God bless him. Jeez. So, and this is a lot about the eyes. We hope a whole bunch here. And then this is biooptic holography. And this is something that is so phenomenal. This is where I learned a lot of what I do, is studying the eyes over all these years. Reflexology, hand and feet. These are some success stories. And then how to connect with us, what we've done. Good. And all right, so that's that. Thank you all for staying on. We had almost everyone stay on. How many love the idea of being able to go, I am the one? How many love it? I am the one. And how many love it? Somebody comes to you going, one moment. And right now we're creating an app so you can have it on your phone. You can be talking to somebody. Oh, you got that? You'd like to know from me? Oh, do I have permission to facilitate you? One moment. I'm gonna get it and be able, are you having that with someone else? Oh, yeah, how'd you know? Oh, you'll be able to do that every single time if somebody will play the game. Am I kidding? No. And we even have right now 150 10-minute sessions that I did with people that once you're in as a facilitator, coach, kahuna, in the book, deep dives, all that, you can study 150 10-minute examples of how somebody's got going on. And I ask them a question and what it turns into, and it's 10 minutes. How many like the idea of 10-minute sessions? Yeah, pretty soon just heal. Who's next? Heal. But how many like the idea of it really meaning you ask them a question where they go, oh, and you're translating them to them. The whole idea is, anyway, with all you're getting and understanding. So Cynthia, thanks for being on tonight to help us all and being on our team as COO. We came up with a new, instead of chief operation, whatever, we came up, do you remember what it was? Chief Owl?
Outcome something.
Yeah, we came up with something
organization
cool.
or
Yeah, something cool that we don't remember, but we'll find out. She's cool. That's what I know. She's cool. All right, everyone, come play with us next what, week from 7? What was it? 7?
A week from tonight.
And those a day, 2 hours. So come prepared. We will take a recess somewhere in there for bladders to be gladder. And then, and refresh yourself. And we take at least 30 seconds for that. Just kidding. Anyway, thank you all for being on tonight. I vote your victory. And remember, how many love the idea? Just go, all right, I trust. That's grace. I'm going to get grace is trust. I walk by faith, not by sight. Anyway, thank you. I love you.